What's going on, people? So, okay, so now I am going to talk about this trucker minute. We'll be talking about the life of a trucker. So, of course, I wanted to talk about this because it's a serious deal, man. I'm gonna try to keep it under 10 minutes if I can, but I'll just hit briefly on some things that maybe somebody that's considering being a truck driver uh, would want to know. So here we go. Okay, uh, over the road versus being home every night. Okay, let me talk about over the road drivers first. Man, over the road drivers are freaking heroes, dude. I'm just being honest with you, man. I look, the things that these guys and girls that they give up, man, is amazing. I mean, you literally, and I did this for years, man. You literally watch your kids grow. Every time you come home, you see something different on your kids. They done grew, they done learned something different. They done did this, they done did that, and just the way people cut drivers off and stick the middle finger up and just very unappreciative. And when it comes down to it, if drivers strike, guess what, man? Y'all think them ports got problems. Y'all think them ports got problems because those people are striking. Just imagine none of this stuff moving. When you act ugly with a driver, because the driver may want to get in line. It's not costing you money, but it's also not costing you uh, that maybe maybe 5-10 seconds to let that drive in, and if you need to, you can go around them. But let me get back to the topic. Over the road driving, man, you give up so much. If you have a if you have family members that's not understanding, like your wife or your husband, if you're a female driver, if they're not understanding, and what you're doing as an over the road driver, yeah, it's not gonna work. That job is not gonna work, man, because you can't be out there stressful. You know, you have hundreds of miles that an over the road driver drive a day, hundreds of miles, and I'm just telling you, it's not easy, man. I mean, get in your vehicle and go ahead and try to drive 600 miles, 650 miles every day. You know, every day except for 2 days a week. And some drivers drive more than that. I'm just being honest with you. Some drivers drive more miles than that. Just think about it. You get up in the morning, you wake up in your truck, you slept in your truck, because that's your house while you're out. You sleep in your truck. You get up in the morning. Probably depending on what time that driver went to sleep, you got to get his 10 hours. So you get up after your 10 hours. You go in the bathroom, in a stanky bathroom where you got a bunch of dudes. The bowels is just moving at that time. So you go in there stanky, and then you go in there and brush your teeth. Okay, I don't like brushing my teeth in stanky bathroom, but hey, if you're over the road driver, that's what you deal with. You go in the stanky bathroom, brush your teeth, wash your face, and look, you getting ready for the day. 650 miles, 700 miles, that's what you got. You got people out there that's cutting you off, that's sticking fingers up at you and looking at you like you're trash. You go in some stores, people just look at you like you're dirty. You may be dirty, but man, I mean, come on, man. That's what drivers deal with. And you got some drivers, man, are some of the smartest people out there, bro. I promise you. Some of these drivers are, and they drivers come from all walks of life. Some people drive trucks because they just want to travel. They drive a big truck, and some of them will tell you, yeah, I didn't get to travel, so I got my CDL, and now I'm traveling the world. Me and my wife, we drive this country. We drop a load, and then we'll take a few days off, but that's what some people do, even out without an RV. You know, um, over the road drivers give up so much, man. And when you see an over the road driver, and I'm pretty sure, you know loneliness, because the job that we do, if you're not a team driver, man, you all them hours and days and time, that's lonely time. That's when it's lonely. It's a lonely life, you know. Um, so over the road driving, you deal with so many things. You deal with a lot, man. You pretty much have to run everything you do at your house, and you got to run it from a cell phone. You know, you have a computer. You can watch videos or video your family members and stuff like that. The way you keep up, but it's a lonely life, man. It's a lonely life. Drivers die in their trucks. I mean, you eat, sleep, and do just about everything in your truck, man. And so the difference now, I'll talk a little bit about, uh, you know, being home every night. Drivers that's home every night, and don't think even the drivers that's being home every night. The one thing, yeah, some drivers just got to a point where they don't want to be out there no more. Like, and I'm just one of those guys that I don't want to be out there like that anymore. I did it for so many years, and I just not doing it anymore. So the things you did, you don't deal with as much. You deal with some of the same things drivers that's over the road deal with, as far as the road is concerned. But you do get to come home. Now, in what the things that I've done over the years, I feel like some jobs that you're home every night, some jobs pay better than the jobs being over the road. And I wish, and I really do wish that that you know it would change for the over the road drivers, because it's hard for them to find, these companies to find over the road drivers now. The over the road drivers should be getting paid a lot more. And I'm gonna be honest with you, because you're just giving up everything, man. I mean, at least with me, I get to come home. I get to see my family. I get to, the weekends come around, I get to you know be around my family. If you're an over the road driver, that's not what it is. So there's a lot. And then the other thing, let me tell you, over the road, you eat out all the time, man. If you don't exercise and try to eat correct, I mean, and I'm telling you, man, just think about it. Drivers die, you gain weight really fast, and I know some drivers don't. Some drivers. I mean, man, sometimes I would just finish running 600 miles or whatever, and I would see drivers walking and exercising and stuff like that. But man, sometimes it's just like, man, I'm about to go take me a shower and get in this bunk and go to sleep. After you done drove that many miles. So yes, it's a very, very unhealthy job, uh, to a certain extent. To a certain extent, because I remember, and I'll give this little quick story about one of my friends, guy named Shannon that I grew up with. His dad, Mr. Patrick. I remember one time I saw Mr. Patrick at Sealand, and that's a container company. And one day I saw him out there. I was walking up, and I saw Mr. Patrick. I'm thinking, oh my God, no, Mr. Patrick about to tell me something crazy, because that's the way he was, man. He was a fun guy, man, really fun man. So Mr. Patrick, I walked up, and Mr. Patrick was like, boy, what happened to you? And I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, Bruce, you done gained all that weight? And I said, yes, sir. He said, why? Because you're sitting in that truck eating and ain't doing nothing. He said, I've been driving. I can't remember, but I know Mr. Patrick probably been driving, I don't know, maybe 35, 40 years. Because I remember when I was a kid, I used to see Mr. Patrick walking. He would park his truck I think at the front store, and he would walk home, which was probably about a good 3/4 of a mile to his house. So he would walk. But Mr. Patrick's arms look like my legs, look like my thighs. So Mr. Patrick got that respect. He was a big dude. So, but we respected him. He was a good man, man. He was definitely a good man. But I mean, he never gained no weight. I mean, of course, Mr. Patrick worked out a lot, and I mean, he worked out. So that's the answer. You know what I'm saying? That's the answer for him. That's why he never gained no weight. But it's very unhealthy, man. It's if you let it, and I'll say it that way. If you let it, it can be very unhealthy. So so being home every day, you can do a little bit more. You can, you can. It's simple. You can get your gym membership. You can walk with your wife, with your husband, and man, I mean, it's just so many things you can do being home every day. And so, me personally, I favor being home every day. I favor that because even if you're out there driving 12 hours a day, 10 to 12 hours a day, because some companies 8 hours a day. If you're driving 8 to 12 hours a day, it's still a long day, man, for a driver. So you know, so if the balance of the two, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I like being home every night. Some guys want to be out there, and a lot of times that's because they do want to travel. They want to see the country, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I believe that over the road drivers should get paid way more, way more. I mean, I don't care if we're at home and we're making 70,000. There should be no reason that uh, any, and I mean any, starting out over the road driver should be making $80,000. I don't care what, just coming out of school, 80,000. Uh, if you're a seasoned driver, 100 plus. And guys do make that. I mean, don't get me wrong. You got drivers out here making $200,000-$300,000 a year. Now that's owners, that's owner operators, yeah. But trucking is very, very, very profitable. And if you don't want the headache of, of the taxes and the different laws that you have to keep that truck together, man, then it may be a good thing for you to stay a company driver. But it's really not hard either to become an owner operator. So, uh, but like I said, man, the difference between over the road and being home every night, in my opinion, I love being home. But of course, I will say when I was over the road, I enjoyed that too. I enjoyed that too. So I hope this was informative to y'all, man, and I hope that some people, you get a little bit of a better idea of what truckers go through on a daily basis, man. I mean, I probably didn't cover 10% of it, because there's so many other aspects of driving. I mean, there's different trucks that you drive. I mean, if you're over the road driver and you drive a flatbed, man, y'all don't realize how hard that is. Especially if you have to tarp. I mean, you can wake up from the night before, took your shower, feeling nice and clean and fresh, and then you get a load on a flatbed that you have to tarp, and it's raining outside, and you got 20-mile-per-hour winds, 25-mile-per-hour winds, playing with a tarp. If y'all only knew what that's like, if you only knew what that like when you looking at a driver and you turning your nose up like they're the worst people in the world, when that's the reason you got toilet paper in your freaking bathroom. So I'm just saying, so take it for what it's worth. But man, look, I appreciate y'all, man. If this content helped you, look, man, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel, man. Let's grow the channel. You know, I do look at comments. I haven't been seeing any much I haven't been seeing a lot of comments, but I want you guys to make some comments, man. We'll talk about it. But I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take it easy.